Someone in your life right now is not cheering for you. They are studying you. They smile at your wins. They say the right things. They show up when it counts. But something underneath all of it feels wrong. You cannot explain it. You cannot prove it. But every time you share good news with them, you leave the conversation feeling smaller than when you started. That feeling is not paranoia. That feeling is information. There is a specific kind of person who does not compete with you openly. They compete with you quietly. They track your moves, mirror your decisions, and chip away at your confidence so slowly that by the time you notice what is happening, they are already 3 steps ahead in a race you never agreed to run. And the most dangerous part is that they look nothing like a rival. They look like a friend. Here are 8 rare psychological signs that someone is secretly competing with your life path. The first sign is that their congratulations never quite land right. You share something you are proud of. Maybe a new job, a new relationship, a new goal you finally committed to. And they congratulate you. The words are correct, the tone is almost right, but something about it feels hollow, like the warmth is on the surface and underneath it something cold is moving. That is not your imagination. Genuine celebration from a genuine supporter feels expansive. It makes you feel seen and lifted. But a congratulations from someone who is secretly competing feels compressed. It is just long enough to be polite and just flat enough to take the air out of the moment. They are not happy for you. They are recalibrating. The second sign is that they suddenly develop interest in everything you pursue. You decide to start a business. Within weeks, they are talking about starting one too. You commit to fitness. They are at the gym. You discover a passion for something new, and somehow, impossibly, they were always interested in that exact thing. This is not inspiration. Inspiration looks different. Inspiration credits the source. What this person is doing is mirroring. They are not following their own path. They are shadowing yours. Because the goal was never to find their own direction. The goal was to make sure that wherever you go, they are not left behind. The third sign is that they introduce subtle doubt right before your biggest moments. Not criticism, not argument. Just a quiet, well-timed question. Are you sure you are ready for this? Did you think about what happens if it does not work out? I just want you to be realistic. These questions arrive with the timing of a surgeon and the precision of someone who has studied exactly where your confidence is thinnest. They do not need to tear you down completely. They just need to slow you down long enough for them to catch up. The fourth sign is that they cannot let you own a win without inserting themselves into it. You accomplish something, you tell the story, and somehow, by the end of the conversation, the focus has shifted to their own similar experience, to something they did that was comparable, to a version of the story where your achievement is background and their journey is the foreground. This is called conversational hijacking, and it is not accidental. It is a deeply ingrained reflex in someone who cannot tolerate being in the audience when someone else is on stage. The fifth sign is that they are unusually informed about your progress without being unusually present in your life. They know things about what you are doing, what you are building, and where you are headed, details you do not remember sharing with them directly. They are watching, maybe through mutual friends, maybe through your social media more carefully than you realize. Maybe through asking questions that seem casual but are actually targeted. A person who is genuinely happy for you checks in because they care about you. A person who is secretly competing checks in because they need data. The sixth sign is that they downplay the things that make you different. Your unique qualities, your specific strengths, the things about your path that are genuinely yours, these make them uncomfortable. So they minimize them. Lots of people are doing that. That is not as rare as you think. Anyone could do that if they tried. These are not opinions. These are attempts to flatten what makes you stand out so that the gap between you feels smaller. Because to someone competing secretly with your life, your uniqueness is not something to celebrate. It is a problem to be managed. The seventh sign is that they make moves that seem designed to be visible to you specifically. They do not just start their own version of what you are doing. They make sure you know about it. They tag you. They mention it in conversation. They find subtle ways to make sure the comparison lands. Because the competition was never really about the goal. It was about you seeing them reach it. The whole exercise only has meaning if you are watching. That is the part that reveals everything. A person chasing their own vision does not need an audience. A person competing with yours does. The eighth sign is that being around them consistently leaves you second-guessing yourself. Not because they say anything overtly cruel, but because every interaction carries a low-level hum of comparison. You leave conversations with them wondering if you are moving fast enough, if your choices are smart enough, if the thing you are building actually matters. That erosion of confidence is not accidental. It is the byproduct of spending time with someone who is measuring themselves against you constantly. Their anxiety about where they stand becomes your anxiety about where you stand. And that is exactly how they want it. Now here is what you need to understand. This person is not your enemy. They are someone who has not yet figured out that life is not a race with a single lane. Their competition with you comes from a place of deep insecurity. It comes from someone who cannot measure their own worth without measuring it against someone else. That is not power. That is a prison they built themselves. But understanding where it comes from does not mean you have to keep giving it access to your life. You do not owe anyone a front row seat to your journey. You do not have to share your plans, your progress, or your goals with someone who uses that information to calibrate their own sense of worth. You are allowed to quietly remove the audience from your process. Here is what you do instead. You stop performing your progress for people who are scoring it. You stop seeking validation from the people most threatened by your growth. You pull your energy inward, and you focus on the only competition that has ever actually mattered, the one between who you are today and who you are capable of becoming. The person secretly competing with your life path has already told you everything you need to know about them. They chose you as the standard. They looked at your direction and decided it was worth following. In a strange way, that is a form of recognition. But you do not need their recognition. You never did. What you need is to stop letting their shadow slow down your light. Keep moving. Keep building. Stop explaining your path to people who are only watching to measure the gap. The life you are creating is not a competition. It is a calling. And callings do not need competitors. They need commitment. Yours. Every single day. Starting right now.